everyone, Sulli-Ween here, and welcome to the conclusion of Sulli-Ween. Well, we come to the end of Sulli-Ween, and I'd like to conclude this month with an animated movie about zombies, witches, ghosts, curses, and all done by the studio that did Coraline, and one that I absolutely hate. It's one that everyone loves, but I don't, and this is just me, and me alone, and no one else's. So, get ready. ParaNorman. A boy named Norman Babcock has the ability to see ghosts and talk to them, but everyone in the town of Blythe Hollow hates and makes fun of him for his gift, except for his friend named Neil and his uncle Mr. Prendergast, who shares the same gift as Norman. But Blythe Hollow is celebrating the 300th anniversary of the witch's curse that brings those who accused her to life as zombies, and Prendergast tells Norman to read from a book on the witch's grave before the sun sets on the anniversary. But in his attempt, Norman reads the book at the wrong gravesite, and the curse brings the 18th century people to life as the living dead. And Norman, with the help of a few people, try to find the witch's grave as the zombies chase them down. Now, I have been dying to review this movie for a while, and ever since I saw it in college, I hated it, and still to this day, I have no idea why everyone loves it. Everything that happens in the film didn't grab me. The humor isn't all that funny. Okay, like one or two jokes did get a chuckle or a slight laugh from me, but everything else fell flat, even with some of the ironic bits thrown in. And at times they felt awkward and desperate. Yet there's only like one product placement mentioned and it didn't feel right. The character designs aren't the best. They look kind of ugly to me and not appealing. Same goes with the characters. They're stereotypical at best and not one I like. The setup to the film is the most regrettable to me. The first half is painful at how everyone hates Norman for talking to ghosts, yet it's taken from The Sixth Sense. But in that film it's not as painful because the people hating him is pretty minimal, and the kid is a supporting role, and does help make things better for the ghost and people around him. But here, it's sort of an overkill, and the kid is a main character who doesn't help many of the ghosts with their problems or make things better for the people around him. But even if I hate the first half, the second half is very much nothing. Okay, I do get this idea that the people are like their ancestors, and that the witch is just a girl with a special gift like Norman, and how the zombies have feelings and the whole message of the film and all that jazz. But the problem is, I just didn't care about the characters or scenarios, because they weren't grabbing me. I didn't care when Norman helped solve the witch's problem, I didn't care about the town's fear of the dead, and I didn't care whether or not the heroes would survive the zombies attacking. It's not fun, it's not engaging, it's just dull and didn't give me anything to latch onto, especially when the first half is pretty upsetting to me. And here's something that I figured out after seeing it, or maybe even during it. Norman's obsessed with zombies, yet the whole town's obsessed with witches, like it's kind of its foundation. But when the zombies attack, Norman and the townspeople get scared. Fair enough, but seeing how they're into them, why couldn't they just celebrate them, even if they do appear? The climax with the zombies should have been something like Hotel Transylvania, where people are celebrating the monsters and don't really fear them. And the town's attitude and approach to everything isn't funny or even natural. Some of the characters even seem kinda dim-witted. And I don't know about making this comparison, but they're like the citizens of Springfield from The Simpsons. They're easily fooled, they make wrong decisions, and they become so overly obsessed with one thing to the point of naming every store and having everything related to it. And yes, some people in Springfield are easy to hate, but there's also some that are easy to love, and it's a TV show where there's more than one episode around them. But this is just one movie, and there's no character that's easy to like. More problems? The sound is a little low, Courtney's attraction to Mitch is awkward despite her trying to be nice due to seeing Mitch's pecs. The other ghosts don't come back as zombies, as well as having too many supernatural creatures in one. And all in all, this book cover sums up the whole film. And the actors voicing the characters didn't save the film for me. Cody Smith-Free voices Norman Babcock, Tucker Albrizzi voices Neil, Anna Kendrick voices Courtney Babcock, Casey Affleck voices Mitch, Christopher Mintz-Plasse voices Alvin, Leslie Mann voices Sandra Babcock, Jeff Garland voices Perry Babcock, Elaine Strange voices Grandma, Bernard Hill voices the Judge, Jodelle Furlan voices Aggie, Tempest Bledsoe voices Sheriff Hooper, Alex Borstein voices Mrs. Hetchner, and John Goodman voices Mr. Prendergast. As a whole, this movie is not that good. The characters are bland, the story doesn't have much to it, and the animation isn't fun. Directors Chris Butler and Sam Fell has made a film that deals with prejudice on the supernatural powers one kid has, which has been done before, but it's too mean-spirited in the first half, and it feels dull as it goes along. Most of the humor isn't funny, the message of the story and the relation of the characters felt like nothing, and the character designs seem ugly. I didn't care about the characters, I didn't care about the setup, and it was painful to sit through. I might as well be alone on this, and I do hate it with contempt. Or, dare I say, a passion. And in the end, I'll forget all about it, because it's one I'll never get, and one I'll never see why people love it. So today, this movie will get a rating of... Oh, come on, can't you let me hate on something I disagree with?
Not this time. You're definitely gonna pay for this.
Well, I don't think so, because I always manage to stop you before you do anything.
But I have powers that no magic wand can stop me.
Well, how about this one?
Ha! I'd like to see you destroy that movie with that wand.
Oh no, I used this wand for rating movies until you interrupted me giving one.
Well, that's why I'm here, to stop you before giving that star rating.
And why didn't you stop me before this review?
Give me that wand.
This movie will get a rating of...
I said give me that wand!
1 star.
Oh, you little...
You may fire when ready. Okay, you're gonna have to get used to the idea of someone having a different opinion.
Well, now I have nowhere to go unless you kill me or something.
You're a Halloween tradition, and I decided to let you go, and I'll insert you somewhere without you having to harm me.
I don't plan to anymore. I've given up. You can keep your opinion and I'll just find something else to complain about.
I feel bad having to end something like this. But what's next week? Ooh, that'll be fun! So, tune in next time as I take a look at some more Peanuts adventures. Until then, thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and... have a happy Halloween!